How's it going, everybody? ZBilbs back here with another video, and today I'm going to be doing another metal related video, and that is my top 10 Ozzy Osbourne songs. I know people have been clamoring for me to do more metal content, some more album reviews, and those, it might be a little far away. There's a couple bands that I've listened through that I'm waiting for their next album to come out before I rank them. Also, bigger bands like Judas Priest and Dio, Black Sabbath, they're definitely coming in the future, but they're very big, and so I did some more smaller bands in the meantime. But just be patient for those. They are coming, hopefully within the next few months or so. We shall see. But in the meantime, I've got some top 20 metal content for you, ranking my top 20 songs for different bands. For Ozzy Osbourne, I ranked the albums a little while ago, and now I'm going to be ranking my top 20 favorite Ozzy Osbourne songs. So just a warning going into this video, you're definitely not going to agree with much, if any, of the picks on here, but, it's just my list, so let me know in the comments what your list would be. And I'm gonna just get going. So I'm gonna rattle off 5 honorable mentions before I get into my top 20, and then I'll take a little bit more time with my top 20 songs here and there. So honorable mentions. For my 5 honorable mentions, I have got See You on the Other Side, No Easy Way Out, Today's the End, Not Going Away, and Mama, I'm Coming Home. All of these songs I really enjoy for all sorts of different reasons, but to keep this on the tighter side of time, I'm just going to say that I really love those songs, but they just missed out on my top 20. So starting off on my actual top 20, I've got at number 20, Suicide Solution. This is one of Ozzy's most, early classic songs, from Blizzard of Oz. It's got a really catchy, main chorus to it. Great guitar work from Randy Rhoads. There's not going to be too much to say about a lot of these. A lot of these I just really like, and I think they're really fun. But yeah, Suicide Solution starting it off at 20. At 19, I've got my favorite song off of Down to Earth, and that is Facing Hell. Down to Earth generally is kind of an iffy album, but this song really feels like one of the best off of Osmosis and whatnot. Zakk Wylde's guitar is really awesome in this. I think, it's just a really fun, fast-paced Ozzy song that I will consistently go back and listen to. Facing Hell, number 19, really great. At number 18, I've got a controversial pick, and that is because it is from Ordinary Man, and this is Scary Little Green Men. Now, this is an odd song. I'm pretty sure Tom Morello does the guitar work on it. It feels very odd, like most things on Ordinary Man, but it's also just incredibly fun, talking about like aliens or something like that. And there's like some weird, like, I don't know, like alien voices that play here and there. It's just, once again, just a fun, fast-paced song. It still feels really Ozzy. It's got some great guitar in there. I just really like it. Next up, at 17, I've got another classic Ozzy song, and that is Over the Mountain. Now, I'm pretty sure this song is just about like drug use or something like that, which is whatever. But, this song, just really fun. What can I say? It's a classic Ozzy song, classic chorus. Once again, Randy Rhoads is fantastic on guitar. Over the Mountain, great song, number 17. But next up at 16, I've got the title track, The Ultimate Sin. I know a lot of people don't like this album or this track because, glam rock, Ozzy phase and whatnot. But this is just, once again, just a super fun track. Great chorus. I'm saying that a lot, but, just really good. Jakey Lee is fantastic on guitar in here. It's kind of like, for most of these songs, it's just like, which song do I get down to the most? Which do I enjoy listening to the most? And I just really love The Ultimate Sin. Great song, number 16. Number 15, I have got Mr. Tinkertrain. Now, this is the first of what I call the Mr. trilogy on this list. And Mr. Tinkertrain off of No More Tears. Once again, I feel like I like all of the weird Ozzy Osbourne songs because this most definitely is a really weird one. Coming off Mr. Crowley not too long before it, it's not that similar to Mr. Crowley, but once again, the main chorus of him yelling Mr. Tinkertrain, and just like starting off with like I think it's like circus or clown stuff, like so weird but so fun. Zach Wilde is fantastic in this song. Mr. Tinkertrain, number 15. Coming in at number 14 is the first of a number of songs from the album Black Rain, and that is Countdown's Begun. Now, I ranked the albums a little while ago, and I think I had Black Rain at like 7 or something like that. And honestly, if I did this again, I think that album would be higher because there are a handful of songs on there that I really love, and Countdown's Begun is the first of a few on there. There's just a handful of songs that really feel exceptionally heavy and cool by Zach Wilde. Ozzy's lyrics and main choruses are super catchy and super fun, and that is definitely the case with Countdown's Begun. That was a nice rhyme. But yeah, Countdown's Begun, awesome song off of Black Rain, and that's pretty much it. But next up at 13 is another one from Black Rain, and that is the title track, Black Rain. This one, it almost gives me a little bit of the Wizard vibes. It almost feels like a little bit like Western or some sort, but it's a really, really cool commentary on like war and whatnot, which not like Ozzy hasn't done a million times. But once again, great guitar work by Zach Wilde. Another super awesome, catchy lyrics by Ozzy. This just feels like, Ozzy once again, even though he's old, still just making good music. Black Rain at the next spot. Next up at 12 is one off of No More Tears, and that is Hellraiser. I think this song has kind of become a cult classic over the years. I don't know for sure, but I'm really love it. I'm pretty sure it premiered on the credits for Hellraiser 3. I haven't seen Hellraiser 3, I've only seen Hellraiser 1 and 2, but that would definitely be really sweet for any Hellraiser movie. This song was written by Lemmy from Motorhead. He even did his own version. I think they just premiered like a collab sort of using Lemmy's version and Ozzy's version and mashing them together, which is super awesome. I think I like Ozzy's rendition a little more just because I think I prefer his vocals a little bit. But once again, this is just, it's a cult classic. I love it. Really fun, catchy lyrics, great guitar work. It's kind of the same for all of them. Hellraiser, number 12. Love it. Next up at number 11, I have got the one and only song off of Scream, and that is Let Me Hear You Scream. This one, I know it's not the most like interesting of lyrics or stuff, but this one is just so freaking fun. I remember this, if any of you guys have played like older Madden games, I remember this one being in Madden 11, and even like as a kid, not knowing who Ozzy Osbourne was, I absolutely love this song, so there might be a bit of nostalgia going into this pick. But this one, just let me hear you scream, like, I just love that. This song is so freaking fast-paced and upbeat. It's a great workout song. It might not be the most varied or interesting, but it's just super fun. Let Me Hear You Scream at number 11. Next up at number 10, I have got No More Tears. Now, this one might be a little low for some people, and I think, it's a super important song. Obviously, it's a fantastic song off of the album No More Tears, one of the most iconic Ozzy songs, and I love it. there's just definitely more that I like there. Um, it's got a really iconic main chorus, great guitar work in there. I will just say I feel like it does go on a little long and gets a little repetitive. I still think it's great, but there's some other ones that I have more fun playing over and over. And so that's why this one is only at number 10. But still an absolutely fantastic song. No More Tears is my number 10. Next up at number 9, we've got another controversial pick, and that's because at number 9, I have got the title track, Ordinary Man. Now, this one is, it's not even like an Ozzy song, it's more of like an Elton John type song. But just as, an Ozzy fan, and, I think I saw the music video the first time I watched this too, which is why it is just so gripping and heartfelt and emotional. Ozzy talking about, his, rise and fall, all of his, problems and mistakes in his life. And it's just a really beautiful, sweet ballad and just fantastic tribute to, who Ozzy is and what he's accomplished over all the years that I just, it really gets me every time I listen to it. And it is just a fun song, even besides its significance. I do enjoy listening to this one over and over again. Obviously, not really a metal song or an Ozzy song and whatnot, but I still love it. But next up at number 8, I have got my favorite song off of Black Rain, and that is The Almighty Dollar. Now, this is one that Black Rain, I feel like, is just incredibly underrated. And this song in particular, I think, is incredibly underrated. It has, once again, it has kind of, a pessimistic take on humanity and, they're valuing wealth over, everything else and whatnot. But this has got some of, if not the best guitar from Zakk Wylde. It is so freaking heavy, and it's got, incredible lyrics from Ozzy. Just really powerful, really punchy. If you don't remember this one, I implore you go back and listen to The Almighty Dollar. If you listen to anything from Black Rain, The Almighty Dollar, I love it so much. And that is my number 8. But speaking of underrated songs, at number 7, I have got Waiting for Darkness. Now, when it comes to Bark at the Moon, I'd say I had it as my number 1 Ozzy album. And while mostly I would say Bark at the Moon is just really consistent throughout, it doesn't have as many like high highs. For me, there are 2 really high highs in that album, and one of them is Waiting for Darkness. This one, it feels relatively similar to the title track Bark at the Moon in terms of tone, and like that tone is it's spooky and just fun. Jakey Lee is fantastic on Guitar Hero on guitar. But oh man, I just love the vibes that this one gives. I think there's some like weird keyboard work in here, but just the main chorus in here, I just love the waiting for darkness, like is just about as good as the main Bark at the Moon chorus. I don't know why people put Bark at the Moon up so far and then just write off Waiting for Darkness. I don't know if everybody does that, but Waiting for Darkness, really great under-celebrated Ozzy song. Another one I'd recommend going back and listening to. That is my number 7 pick. Next up at number 6, I said Almighty Dollar was my favorite off of Black Rain. That was a lie. My favorite is actually I Don't Want to Stop. This is one that I think this is like the only appreciated song off of Black Rain. And for good reason, because this song, more than pretty much every other song, is probably more fast-paced, fun, aggressive than any other Ozzy song that's out there. It doesn't necessarily have like the best guitar and whatnot. I'd say probably stuff Randy Rhoads does is the best, but there's no other song that Ozzy has that is, besides maybe Let Me Hear You Scream, that's more just fun, fast-paced, and sweet, and also just feels incredibly heavy. With Zakk Wylde is still fantastic on guitar. I don't know how many times I've said that, but I Don't Want to Stop number 6, just, it's wonderful. But now, getting into my top 5, all 5 of these are so freaking fantastic. It's really hard to put them into here. But at number 5, the next on the Mr. trilogy, I've got Perry Mason. This one, it's a lot like Mr. Crowley, but it's like if Mr. Crowley, but then you've got Zakk Wylde on guitar, you've got some more heavier riffs and whatnot. It feels a little bit more synthesized and whatnot, but it is just so freaking awesome. It just feels like a new evolution for Mr. Crowley while still feeling incredibly fresh and new and fast paced. It just feels like, the Mr. Crowley of the newer Zakk Wylde generation, and is just absolutely great. Next up at number 4, I have got my favorite off of Ultimate Sin, and that is Shot in the Dark. This one is just like, I don't know, it's just so much fun. Jakey Lee, this is, I think, the best he gets when it comes to his guitar. The main chorus is just incredibly fun. I just love the feel and the vibe of this song. Not much more to say about that. Shot in the Dark, just really great song. Now, next up at 3, we're getting into my big 3, and I think this is probably big 3 for a lot of people. At number 3, I've got Bark at the Moon. And this is a classic song for good reason. Definitely the best off of Bark at the Moon album. This is kind of the one song off of that album that people love, which I think, as I've already said, I think at least Waiting for Darkness people should take another look at, along with a lot of other songs on there. But, for good reason. Everything I said about Waiting for Darkness, it's really just, Waiting for Darkness, but even more iconic, even more catchy, even more fun. It's a classic for good reason. I think I might have already said that, but Bark at the Moon, great song. Next up, at number 2, I have got Crazy Train. Now, this one, overplayed, yeah, but you simply cannot deny how freaking fun and revolutionary Crazy Train was and is. It's Crazy Train. Like, everybody knows Crazy Train. There's really no beating this song as far as Ozzy stuff goes, except for one other one, which is more of a personal pick. But so fun, so fast paced. Randy Rhoads' work is absolutely legendary, and it's only topped for me by one I've already mentioned, and that is Mr. Crowley, my favorite of the Mr. trilogy. And frankly has some of the best guitar work, like, ever in here. Like, just go back and listen to Randy Rhoads' guitar solos. Just them alone immediately make this a top 10. And just the interesting lyrics talking about Aleister Crowley and whatnot, so great. The main chorus feels like just a classic, fun Ozzy chorus. It's really re-listenable. It's it's Ozzy at his best, in my opinion. It's Randy at his best, and it is by far my favorite Ozzy Osbourne song. But that is my list. Let me know your favorite Ozzy Osbourne songs. Which ones do you agree in my list? Which ones do you disagree with? Let me know what metal videos you'd like to see me do next, what other videos you'd like to see. But that is all I've got for you. I'll see you later.